Right. Hello. Good morning. So last time or yesterday, um, I got we got through the updates to these two new primitives we're testing, query and mutation. But we got stuck on this provide inject thing. But I figured out what we were gonna do. Oh. Oh, and that is I've already updated this. Let's see, API reference. So I'm actually calling it context. Um, and the reason I'm calling it context is because I do want that um, like brain pathway to the React context. Um, so when you return an interface from a store, that interface is public. That means all nested components and stores has access to that interface. Often there is certain management of state that should only be managed by the stores. You want a private interface between the stores. Mm. Just like React has its context to inject values in nested components, Impact has its context to inject values in nested stores. Unlike the React context, which resolves with a context reference, Impact resolves with a simple key reference. This simplifies. Oh, that shouldn't be two there. This simplifies providing and consumption of store context. So now it's just a single function. It's context. So if in a store you call context and you give it an argument, it will add that as a context to this store. And then if you call context without an argument, when you access these keys, Impact will actually go up the store hierarchy and find that key on the nearest context. Or if it doesn't find it on the nearest context, like store container context, technically, it will go to the parent and like move up the hierarchy to find that key. And like, because unlike React context, where a React context can represent many different things, here it's only one thing, right? It's a store, it's state management. So I think this just makes it more accessible. A very like simple API, but it's powerful, right? You can provide whatever you want to these nested stores. So another example of that would be like you instantiate an API and you don't want the components to access the API directly to do data fetching and stuff. That should happen in the stores. So you can create or instantiate that API in a global store and then shove it on the context, and then any nested store can access that API. So we're gonna test this. We're gonna move to the Family Scrum app once again. We're gonna install the latest Impact React, and we're gonna move through. Some things here again. So we have our global store, and let's just do a restart of the TS server. So I know we want Firebase to be available to the stores, but I don't want Firebase to be available to the components. So we're gonna try that first. So I'm gonna say context. Wait, this is coming from Impact app. We want it from Impact. This one. So we're just gonna say export type global store context. So the only thing that I don't like about, but this is a general problem with context, is discoverability. Like, how do you know what context and hooks you have available to you? So how do you know when you create some new nested store that, oh, we have access to Firebase? Like if you would use the global store, you would be able to kind of explore like the public interface, but you can't really explore the private interface. You kind of have to know that it's there. But at the same time, yeah. But this problem, you can talk about this problem of discoverability with any decoupled, like even components. Like just imagine like looking at some nested component and you try to discover like where does this component fit in by looking at the props, like you're trying to move up. But anyways, so we want Firebase here, and I think we have Firebase as a type here, like that. Then we're just gonna say global store context, and we're gonna put Firebase there. So now Firebase is available to any nested store. So that's really the only thing we want to do there. And then we can look at the App Store, because this is already using Firebase, but we're not going to use the global store anymore. We're going to use the context. I need to remove impact app. So this will be a global store context. We just call it, and now we have, we don't have. Damn it. Did I make a mistake? I think I might have made a mistake. I didn't really test it. God damn it. Isn't it? Ah, damn it. I thought this. So, context. Oh, we don't have context here. Oh, I didn't bump. Oh, fuck, sorry. It's my mistake. I'm getting used to the release requirements here. Yeah, so this should be Impact React Store 1.1.0. Right. My bad. Yeah, 1.1.0. Sorry. So yeah, we basically have to, let's do just a bug fix on that. Oh my god, we have to do the same with MobX React. I forgot to fix that. Maybe, yeah, no, I think we need to have the version there. Impact React. I guess we don't have to build, but let's do it anyways. Let's publish. Oh, didn't it work? Oh. Impact React store, build. Impact React, yarn build, and npm publish. Let's see. Just bringing up my auth here. 5, 8, 2, 1, 5, 3. Cool, and then let's do the same with MobX. I haven't gotten any feedback on the MobX thing yet. One thing that I reflected on is like, even though, so god damn it. Ugh. Let's see. Just 2 seconds. I have to really concentrate. 804.048. Is that with MobX you can still take advantage of suspense, in the sense that let's see. in the sense that you can like keep promises in your store, and you can use like suspense. Cool. So now we have Firebase here, but now it's like privately provided. And then we have we're gonna use the query now to manage the data. So instead of signal, we're gonna do query. And then this is a callback. And we're gonna do the same for all of these. So this is a query. And now we don't have like set dinners. We have invalidate dinners. And we have invalidate to-dos. And then we have query, boop, and invalidate groceries. Let's see. And then we have what's current to-dos? Oh yeah. So current to-dos. So now we have to actually look at the promise. Because the query is now two different things. It's the state of the query and it's the actual promise of the query. And this is the one thing I really love about this. Like, so the thing about comparing this to MobX is like MobX is more approachable in the sense that you don't have this signal signature where you have to like call the value to observe it and stuff. With MobX, you just write JavaScript, and then observation and everything just works. It's a very, very nice value proposition. But doing things like this, deriving state from promises, that's like, you can't do that with MobX. It doesn't have a primitive to have observable promises, as far as I know. They could do that. Like, it's nothing special about Impact, technically. But yeah, they just don't have it. And they couldn't really make the typing work for it. That's also the benefit of Impact, like having these abstractions over values instead of kind of making it implicit like MobX does, is that you can deal with typing. Like, you can change the typing of things. Like, you can pass in a normal promise and you get an observable promise back. Anyways, let's just continue doing this. So what we're gonna do now, when we subscribe, so on collection snapshot, we could even change this to like on collection update or something. Let's do that. Rename on collection update. And we're actually not gonna pass data here. We're just gonna call it. Yeah, we can even do CB like this. Because what we're gonna do instead, we're just gonna say invalidate to-dos. Invalidate to-dos, like that. We're gonna do the same here. Invalidate dinners. And invalidate groceries. Cool. That's pretty nice. And then we have oh yeah. So this will be invalidate weak to-dos. I have a feeling we're gonna get into some kind of issue here. Oh, this needs to be a query. Invalid weak to-dos. But yeah, this is fine. So now we have our app store. We've changed it to to using, why do I have signal here? Oh, image URLs. Yeah. To use query and using context, and then camera state, nothing special about camera views. We're gonna change to React Router at some point because I want to test that as well. Now we have our global store. Let's continue looking at, let's see. So now we have weeks. Yeah, so this will be the actual rename symbol to current week to do's query. So this is the actual query we're getting. And we're going to look at the query promise status and the promise value. And we'll rename this to do's query. Oh, we're not observing this? That's interesting. Current week. Oh, maybe that was why it failed. Like we had this bug. We're gonna check that. That promise that, oh, that value. That's fine. Edit dinner. Yeah, so now we're gonna do context instead from Impact React. And this is global store context. That's where we're getting it from now. And then let's do the same here, I guess. Global store context. I like this. It feels right to have that context thing. Yeah, now we're getting into some interesting stuff. Global store context. Because here we wanted to optimistically. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go through the stores, finish like the obvious refactor, and then we're gonna go and look at the actual groceries list, because now we're gonna handle this optimistic stuff in a different way. So let's just continue going through this. Global store context. You know what? We need to remove this impact app. We don't need that. Let's see. To do item store context impact React global store context. The same here, context global store context, and that, oh, did it have, wait, where's week dinners coming from? Oh, oh, it's trying to update the week dinners. Okay, we need to look at that as well, because we're also doing a mutation here. So we're gonna make this optimistic as well. Do updated. Okay, we need to look at this one as well. Oh, look at that. Oh, we haven't really updated this, have we? So this is preview to do's query. Oh, it started getting super windy outside. Oh, App Store promise. This is the, you know what? We can do this instead. Oh, yeah, this is also wrong. So this would be promise of value and get. Yeah, it's interesting. We should really have, so this should be to-do's query. And then maybe we should even name, like we're doing refactoring here, and it's really, really difficult to kind of always be at a point where you want the code base to be in terms of terminology and everything. So you'll just have to excuse that. But now to-do's promise value. And then we can say previous week to-dos. Like that. There we go. There we go. I'm not sure if I can actually run this. Hopefully we can. Is in use. Is it in use? Oh, am I running it here? Huh. Let's see. Localhost 3000. Yeah. Oh, impact app. Where's this? This is in current week to-dos. Yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna be explicit. I'm gonna do one more refactor here. We're gonna rename these to their actual. Where am I going to do that? Like it is an actual query. Yeah, let's do it. Invalidate dinner's query. Like I think this problem is bigger because of such a big font size, but it kind of does emphasize how important it is to name things properly, so that you might have a high resolution on your screen and you can easily see the relationship between. This would actually be an interesting talk, but you can like see the what's it called? Relationship between variables and stuff, but some other person might not see that. To-do's query, that looks better. Yeah, that's that one. To-do store. To-do's query. Okay, cool. Let's see where we're at now. We have another impact app. That's interesting. Dinners app. Dinners. Oh, look at this. Why is it? Oh. Using use observer. Yeah, so this has changed now. So this is an actual yeah. Let's see, image URL. So one convention I want to document is that now I have this image URL, but this is the thing, right? Sometimes you can use a signal directly in your JSX, like the count, for example. So you just call the count where you're using it. But often you have to kind of extract the value. But the naming is the same, right? Because this is image URL, but it's a signal. The way you handle that naming is very, very simple. It's using the word current. So that's image URL, but since it can change, you say current image URL, and then you just call it. And magically, it just works. Use observer. So yeah, so here we want to do dinners query equals app store dinners query, and then what we want to do is dinners query.promise. That's the thing we want to use. Now the cool thing is that like you can still look at dinners query.state, for example, to see when the state changes, and so when you're refetching it, for example, if for some reason you want to show that, I guess that's kind of the not bad thing, but to some degree unnecessary, because now we have one signal representing the promise and the state, and that means whenever you invalidate the query, which means whenever you do a mutation, it will first, when you observe the query itself, it will first do a reconciliation because the state of the query changes to refetching. And then it will do another reconciliation when the promise actually resolves to a new value. So I think that's a question. Like maybe they should be two different signals. So then you would just say dinners query, like you wouldn't call, would rather do dinners query, and then you would do this. Like I'm not worried about actual performance issues with this, but it doesn't make like it doesn't have to. So okay, we're gonna reflect on that. Maybe we need to change that. This is main, right? Yeah. Let's look at mutation, because mutation is the same. It's like one signal. Yeah, it's like one signal representing the promise and the related data, and that makes sense because they are co-located. As long as you have a promise, you also have the data, the optimistic data. But for query, you don't really have that. But that makes them inconsistent. Yeah, it's interesting. An interesting thing. Anyways. Cool. So again, groceries index. Let's just search for, seems like we have a few of these. Impact app. Let's just replace it with impact react. And then where do I click? Replace on there. Okay, nice. Yeah, create store. Oh, assistant store. I don't think we actually use this anymore in the assistant store, but let's at least fix it. So this would be create store instead. Create store. Firebase would be context, global store context. Context would be coming from Impact React. Oh, there's a lot of things here I haven't fixed. I don't think it matters. Let's see what's using global store. Okay, where is this main? Yeah, so I haven't actually provided the global store. And let's see, this should be const global store using use observer. So I haven't updated this use observer. Yeah, and this should be use app store. Use app store provider. Like that. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, sorry. So we have global store here. And I think, so now we can do a lot more destructuring. Current authentication. Again, I'm just, oh, sorry, I thought this was, oh, it's the state that's, authentication state is authentication.state. Oh yeah, I remember now. So this is its own like nested thing inside the global store. And I thought about just returning the state, the signal, but then I thought maybe I want to extend it later. Doesn't matter. There we go. But we need to provide our global store. So that means we need to change this a little bit. Use global store provider. And then, so the pattern I recommend in like in the documentation currently is to have like, if you need to provide something, you do it like this. I did think about like, you could do like export default, use global store, provide. Oh, sorry, provide like this. And then it will handle like the internals of that. But I don't think it really makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it does make sense. But currently it doesn't have it, so we're not going to use it. Interesting. I think I might just be missing some observation here. Oh, why doesn't it error? That's interesting. Const app store. Oh, what's happening here? Let's just get the dashboard running. Groceries query. Current groceries query. Is it because of these errors or attempted import error? I guess so. Yeah, this might be a bit boring. I probably have a lot of things to fix. But yeah, we're just gonna do it. We have to get through this. So let's see. Const dinner's query equals app store. Dinner's query. And then fetch week. App store introduce query. What? Isn't it promise? Wait, what's happening here? Oh, no, what? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just reflecting on, here we go and fetch the week. Why do we fetch the week? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should rename this. Current. Yeah. This should just be week. Okay, I'm just gonna geek out here and make these refactors, because a lot of things that I've done now does not quite make sense with all these changes. Current, so these are weeks, right? Previous. Oh, look at this. So we're just gonna say week. Wow, it's super windy outside. Kind of crazy. And then this is gonna be to-dos. Like so. Let's just change this to current week. This will be next week. Cool. Yeah, so now we're gonna do week would be App Store weeks current week. But should this be an observable promise? Yeah, no. Yeah, this should also be a query, sorry. You should be a query and then invalidate week. Yeah, there we go. This is how it should look. So where are we? Were we here? Let's see. Yeah, current week's to-do query. That would be to-dos. That's the current week to-dos query now. Okay, let's just close everything. Oh my god, this is a rough... Yeah, sorry. So this is a query. So yeah, week query. Okay, we're getting to it. There we go. Now it looks correct. Yeah, so I guess we want to call these queries as well. So this would be rename week query, week to-dos query. Now we're getting there. Did it? Yeah, exactly. There we go. Ugh. Let's just call it week to-dos query, week query. Sorry. Week query, week to-dos query. It's better to be super explicit. Nice. Okay, now we're happy. So this is gonna be week to-dos query. Cool. Happy about that. Oh, where were we? Do we know? Oh, do we actually? Oh, do we have the assistant in the dashboard? I thought I removed it. Oh, where do we have it? Oh, I didn't actually. Yeah, we don't need this drawer trigger anymore. Maybe I should kind of keep it in case we want to bring back the assistant. It was really cool, but it's, yeah. Oh, and then we had drawer around the whole thing. Ugh. Okay, we'll have to... this sucks. Okay, I'll just comment that. So we'll remove the drawer. Let's see. Oh, come on. And then the only thing we actually need here is this button. There you go. So we have one less thing. Let's just continue. Let's see, edit inner. Yeah. Use observer, cons app store, edit inner store. Yeah. Provider. Yeah, so this is image URL, and then we're going to say current image URL equals image URL dot, and then we have current image URL. Yeah, let's call it camera state equals app store camera state. Camera state, current image URL. Blah blah blah. New grocery. Did I call it? I think it's set. Set new grocery name. Edit dinner store. New preparation description. Set new preparation. Oh. Set new preparation description. Isn't that what I called it? Oh. Anyways. Cool. Edit to do. Provider. Is valid. Where is that coming from? Oh. Week dinners. Oh. Use observer. So this week dinner store. So what do we actually get here? Wait, there's something weird going on here. Oh, look at this. There we go. Cool. So this would be dinner's query. Promise. And week dinners. Where are you coming from? Yeah. Let's call it current week dinners. Week. Oh. Wait, wasn't this week? Oh, week dinners index? Oh, look at that. Use observer. Let's see. So here we have week. So this will be week query. So we're gonna remove that. Week query. I wonder if I should like. Yeah, it's really hard to find like nice conventions. But I'll just run with it for now. Plan to do item. This will be const, and I would do more the structuring here. Like I wouldn't, like I can do weeks. We'll do like more of a syntax cleanup later. So this will be week to do's query, weeks next. Week to do's query, promise. And this will be provider. Like that. Ugh. Use observer. User. Const. Let's do remove that duplicate stuff. Oops. Still need a const there. So this would be week to do's query equals weeks current week to do's query promise. So we'll suspend that activity by user ID. So we'll need to do current. This is also interesting. Like now we're able to like say I want to observe the to-do's query, and then I want to suspend, and then I want to observe something more. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, what I was about to say is that even though we destructure activity by user ID, we're not observing it until we call it. Activity by user ID. So this would just be user ID. Yeah, let's do the same here. This is in risk of having the same problem as the signal signature of dot value. Like you have this current everywhere, so you don't see that clearly. Like, because what you can do here instead, you can say App Store and then plan to do item store, and then you say app store.weeks, and here you say week to do's, and here you do say activity by user ID, but you just say, oh sorry, was that on plan to do item store? So you kind of use that as a pre-reference so that you can keep using the same name. And here we can say user. This is also a way to do it. Maybe this is better. So this will be App Store family users. Or sorry, is it user.fam? No, where the hell did family users come from? Where did family users come from? Ugh. Family users. Oh my god. So annoying. Family. Oh, use plan to do item store. It was there. So I think this is what makes it more verbose. Oh, wasn't that? Oh, was it just family users? Oh, it's a getter. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Would I use a getter for that now? like this is a derived, really. Let's change that into derived. Family users. Let's see. Let's split this up a little bit. So this will be family users is derived. There we go. Yeah, so this would just be, what was I talking about? Can't remember. So this will be user. Yeah, and then we have this set next week to do activity. Oh, sorry. That's in the plan. Wasn't it here? Oh, this one was fine. Yeah, so this is the thing. Like in a store, you don't have this reference to the store. So here you would have to do this current thing. While in a component, you have a reference to the store. So there you don't have to do that current thing. Yeah, that one's interesting. Like what is, I think clearly it's better to do. Yeah, no, that's something to reflect on. That's the big negative of this approach, like having this cold signature of an observable is naming. I wish there was a better way to do that. That's also, it's interesting in a store, like having signals separate from each other. Like this, like you just define signals. If you rather define it as like a collection of signals, you would have like a reference to it. So you would say like state.activity by user ID. Yeah, because there's something technical me doesn't like to call. So for example, we were using the user here, but it doesn't, like I can call it multiple times to get the user. It's not a biggie, but there's something about like pointing to, do we have user here? User. Yeah, like here, calling user. Yeah. I have to think about this. Like I have to have two lines anyways. One for, I could do the structuring, but then I would still have to like yeah, let's try that one. So we're gonna do, let's play with this. Like this is why we're doing this. So we get the user here. We get App Store weeks. We get weeks. Yeah, So let's look at this. So what if I do this instead? Like it's about one. It can feel unnatural, but what feels great at in the end? That's the thing. So this will be activity by user ID. This will be family users. So let's remove all of these. And now we will call family users. We're just gonna use it inline, calling them. Yeah, that's fine. And maybe this is better. You just use it, you just call it again if you need to. And the only thing what you see now is that, you know what, I think this is better, because the whole point of exposing these functions, like these signal getters, is that you want to see in your code where observation happens. And this is where observation happens, right? Because you're accessing the user, this is where you need observation. So I think that's something you should just get used to. And then it's the same in both of these. So also here, we don't do this current thing. Say user.id. Even here, like we're sorting and we're kind of calling this user all the time. But it just states that this derived, this is where it needs to observe. Like this is why it needs to observe, I mean. But if you separate them, you can see that, oh, we're observing the user. But you don't know for what. And this is more like a code optimization. This is more a transpilation thing. Maybe it even already does this. Like if you're calling something multiple times, maybe it actually does extract it. Yeah. I think that's way better. But we should, another thing we should do here is say derive family users. This is also a thing that we're doing now. So after the return, we say derive family users. Then we're putting it down there because now this gets shorter. And we see more clearly what this thing does. And we're gonna do the same with this thing, I think. So maybe we can just copy the whole thing. Because in some sense, we don't actually care about, if we're just gonna scan this store, what does this store do? We don't care about the implementation of this. We just, okay, what are its dependencies? What is it defining? What does it clean up? And what does it return as a public API? That's what we want to know. And then maybe there's something we want to look at, especially with the derived or with this set next week to do activity, whatever. I wonder why this is. Oh, it's just because I didn't destructure it. Oh, was that a void now? Derive. Oh, sorry, I took the whole thing. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I like this. I like this. I should make a note of this. You know what? We're gonna put the note in. Where is impact? Here's impact. Why is this? Let's just add not dev but docs. Deep dive. Where should we put this? Maybe we should just put it in the stores. Yeah. Write about how signals should be defined, exported, and consumed. Always call them. Let's see. Always call call signals where they are used. If used multiple places, use current. So sometimes, for example, if you want to consume a promise, you have like an if statement, like because of typing, the promise has a status, so it needs the same variable reference to understand, like narrowing down the status. So in that case, you would say like current promise, and then you would say current promise dot status. If it equals this, return this. If it equals this, return this. So I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but sometimes, but only if you have to. That's kind of where I'm at right now. What's I doing? Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop the stream because my mother wants me to call her. So I'm gonna prioritize that. Cool. Yeah, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Great. Sorry, this was maybe a little bit boring, but it is what it is. Bye for now.